there are some things I don't know how to do in the real version. Some things. There's some keyboard parts that I could MIDI, but it doesn't sound nice. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
Okay.
I'm confident that if I have like the idea, the stuff that you have in the room, and with your know-how, we can bust it out. But my concern is that, for example, there is one track where I'm envisioning overlaying two different kinds of drums. So automatically, that's not something that's easily just busted out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
Cool.
really like that drum sound you created for the Mightier Kid King when we did the cover of Here Come the Girls. And it was just so close and old school. And there was the little hi-hat that had the keys in it and stuff.
Yeah.
I sort of want that for one song that sounds really pared down, but it becomes really wide in the middle of the song. And I imagine the drum kit opening up, becoming really wet, really roomy, and then going back down to kind of in the end. So there are some ambitious. I look forward to showing it to you when it's done. But talking
Cool.
to you've definitely inspired me big time, and I'm like committed to finishing this demo now. I'm gonna share it with my Patreons, and then I'm gonna get them to sort of feedback, and maybe some of their suggestions might even make it onto the album, stuff like that. Because you're an artist as well, you know, you've got your own band, Modern Rituals, and also Absentees is
Yeah.
a different band you play in. But now you've got your own project. I'm really excited about Teething Powder, right? Teething Powder,
Yeah.
because
So
that's really good stuff. But the point I was going to get is that you're also on the artist side of things. So I think that makes you capable of understanding when you're relating to an artist. Maybe that's the best thing for an engineer, learn what it feels like to actually be recorded. Because like you said, your first ever experience as an engineer or experience of recording was of being recorded at an exam. So, you know, I guess that's always the place to start, because then you'll know what it feels like when you do it to someone else. But you know what it's like to finesse things from beginning to end of the process, so that you know whatever you input at the start will create the best product at the end, which obviously isn't always the case with the artists that might come in and work with you. But then again, you understand that because you've been on that boat as well.
Yeah, and I've just started doing stuff like a solo project where everything is me, and that's kind of harder sometimes. But yeah.
Well, I can definitely relate to that, because working with a band, you bounce ideas off people. With you,
Yeah.
you just have to have the courage to go, that's my decision. And then I might change it, but that's my decision right now.
Yeah.
What I was going to talk about when I mentioned you being an artist, though, is just that because you have both sides of the equation in your head as an artist and a recording engineer, do you experience the self-flagellation a little bit? Do you feel experience that as an artist?
Yeah, when I record myself, so on the Teething Powder project, which is nothing out yet, but there will be one, maybe two if I stop being lazy, maybe just one, songs out soon. I recorded all the drums, all the bass, all the guitar, and I'm halfway through recording all the vocals myself. And I am aware of my abilities for all of those things. I know I'm a bad drummer, so I just wrote really simple parts that I knew that I could play well. I didn't write even like stuff towards the top of my ability, because I was like, I want to nail it. No one is impressed by something that's kind of impressive to play, played badly, but people will enjoy listening to something simple done well.
That is the
So I
quote
did
of the
that.
day, man. That is the quote of the day, because when I heard your, you know, at that time, just like mix one of your tracks for Teething Powder, I was like, this sounds amazing. And I, you know, you say you're not a good drummer, but I was like, it hits you just in the spots, well recorded. You hit hard. You have a consistent hit as well. So I was like, you know, that's everything you want to hear, and it really matched the genre. I think that's also really important when it comes to songwriting or any kind of composing, that you put something in because you think it maybe contributes to the song, as opposed to, oh, I just really want this riff in, or I just really want this drum fill in. You know what I mean? Which can also be a trap when composing, because you might be attached to the idea rather than letting the composition guide itself in a way. So I thought you smashed that, in the sense that you wrote parts that really fitted together, and I look forward to when you put that out. But yeah, that makes me think about my project right now, because some of the drum parts that I'm imagining are definitely not out of my reach, but they're in what you just defined as like they're at the top of my reach. They require that extra bit of practice, which is why I've been putting in the legwork. But at the same time, I want to smash it. So I'm going to start easy though, because I went back to Pirate Studios. I had a 4-hour drum session. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, if I were recording right now, I could do it. So it's about the idea of kind of getting back into the drums. And so hopefully with the first few recording sessions for this new project, so I realize now in the context of this like chat for YouTube, people are like, what the hell is he talking about? But anyway, I think it's official now. I'm working on the Vone's first ever album, and I'm going to try to record it all myself. and I'm just going to start with the easy drum parts. Do you know what I mean? And the band members are actually having some input because we've actually been like liaising in songs a bit like you said you were doing with Modern Rituals. Like we send each other stuff. Then Johnny will like send me, you know, Johnny's a drummer, but he's a better guitarist than I am. He'll send me like a guitar lick, be like, oh, try this melody in bars this to this, and I'll do it. So some of the songs on this Potential album have already been worked in that way with the band members' input anyway. But just because of the way we're also spread far and wide, I just, to get these songs done, just gonna inspired by you, just gonna put the legwork and crack on. Not to mention that we have plenty of other stuff to be getting on with the full band collabs and full band compositions.